Have you ever felt like a fish trying to climb a tree? A feeling of helplessness, exhaustion, and being completely out of place. That's precisely the sensation that gnawed at my soul for a long time, a persistent ache called comparison. In this modern world, we live on a colossal stage where everyone seems to be shining brilliantly. The smartphone in hand with its social media apps is both a gateway to the world and a transparent cage that traps us in endless comparison. Each scroll of the screen is another glimpse into someone else's success. A friend just got promoted, another checked into a luxurious beachfront resort, someone else flaunted their brand new car. And then, unconsciously, we start looking back at ourselves, wondering why we're so slow, why we're so inadequate. Comparison, like an invisible acid, slowly erodes our self-confidence and joy in life. I was once a victim of it. And the story of Ethan, a friend of mine, is the clearest testament to that internal struggle. Ethan was a smart and kind young man, but he always carried an unnamed sadness within him. He was trapped in a vicious cycle of comparing himself to his peers. In Ethan's eyes, Liam was a genius programmer, earning thousands of dollars. Owen, his best friend from college, had just successfully launched a bustling coffee shop. And Chloe, his ex-girlfriend, was globe-trotting, posting dreamlike photos on Instagram every day. Looking at them, Ethan felt like a failure. He had graduated from a prestigious university and had a stable office job, but all of that suddenly seemed small and meaningless when weighed against his friends' achievements. Every morning, instead of feeling excited for a new day, Ethan felt a heavy pressure on his shoulders. He told himself, "I need to be faster. I need to earn more money. I need to be more successful." Obsessed with the idea of catching up, Ethan plunged into a race whose destination he didn't even know. He enrolled in an intensive programming course, trying to cram complex lines of code into his head just because he wanted to be like Liam. But he hated it. Every command line felt dry and soulless to him. He gave up after a few weeks. Then he poured all his savings into following Owen's path, trying to invest in the volatile stock market. The result was a significant loss of money and extreme panic. He felt like he was running non-stop, but not moving forward, only growing more exhausted and lost. His true passions, drawing and writing short stories, were cast aside into a forgotten corner because he considered them useless and not profitable. The joy in Ethan's life had completely vanished, replaced by anxiety, envy, and a sense of hopelessness. In his most desperate moment, Ethan sought out Uncle Ben, an elderly family friend who owned a small, peaceful garden on the outskirts of the city. Uncle Ben was a calm man, with kind eyes and wisdom emanating from the wrinkles on his forehead. Seeing Ethan's weary face, Uncle Ben didn't ask many questions. He simply brewed a fragrant pot of Lotus tea and led him to the backyard garden. Under the shade of an old starfruit tree, Ethan poured out his heart. He spoke of Liam, of Owen, of Chloe, and of his feeling of being a loser in life. Uncle Ben listened patiently, without a word of judgment. When Ethan had finished speaking, Uncle Ben just smiled and pointed to two trees in the garden. On one side was an ancient oak, tall, sturdy, its lush canopy shading a whole corner of the garden. On the other side was a rose bush, blooming with vibrant red flowers, proud and fragrant. Uncle Ben slowly said, "Ethan, look. Do you think that big oak tree is ever sad because it can't bloom with brilliant flowers like this rose bush? And does the small rose bush ever envy the oak's towering, steadfast presence?" Ethan was silent, bewildered. Uncle Ben continued, "Certainly not, because each type of tree has its own mission, its own beauty, and its own value. The oak provides shade, strong wood, and shelter for countless birds. The rosebush brings fragrance and beauty, delighting human eyes and souls. They don't compare themselves to each other. They simply live fully according to their own nature. They focus on rooting deeply, reaching their branches high, and blossoming into the very best of themselves." Uncle Ben looked directly into Ethan's eyes, his voice warm and deep. "It's the same for us humans, Ethan. The greatest tragedy is when a fish tries to prove itself by climbing a tree, and a bird tries to dive to the bottom of the deep sea. A fish is born to swim in clear blue waters. That is its world. A bird is born to spread its wings across the vast sky. That is where it belongs. You are trying to run on Liam's racetrack, on Owen's, but that is not your path. You are forcing yourself to become an oak tree when perhaps your true nature is that of a rose or a resilient bamboo swaying gracefully in the storm. Why don't you try to discover what kind of tree you truly are? Uncle Ben's words were like a cool stream watering Ethan's parched soul. For the first time, he realized a simple truth he had long forgotten. He had been too busy looking to the sides of the road and had forgotten to look straight ahead at his own path. He had tried to copy the happiness of others and lost his own. He remembered the joy of holding a paintbrush, the satisfaction of completing a short story. That was the real him, his true self. Returning home, Ethan did something he had never dared to do. He temporarily locked all his social media accounts. He needed a quiet space, a place to listen to himself again. He pulled out his dusty drawing kit and started drawing again. At first, his strokes were hesitant, but gradually, the familiar feeling and passion returned. He wrote, writing about what he thought, what he felt. He created a small blog, not to show off, but simply as a place to share his stories and drawings. Ethan didn't become a millionaire overnight, nor did he have a glamorous life to post on social media. But for the first time in years, he felt like he was living, truly living. He found joy in every stroke of his brush, peace in every word. Gradually, his blog gained a small but loyal readership, people who appreciated the sincerity and uniqueness of his works. He began to receive small illustration commissions. His income wasn't as high as Liam's, his work wasn't as grand as Owen's, but he was happy. He had found his path, a path that might not be vast, but perfectly suited his footsteps. He met his friends again, no longer with envious eyes, but with a sincere smile, congratulating them on their successes, because he understood that they were happy on their paths, and he was happy on his own. Ethan's story is a reminder for all of us. True success isn't about finishing ahead of others in a race you didn't choose. Success is when you find your own path and bravely walk it, at your own pace, in your own way. Each of us is a unique individual, with distinct talents and missions. Don't waste time and energy trying to be a copy of someone else. Focus on discovering and nurturing what makes you different. The world doesn't need more identical oak trees. The world needs sturdy oaks, fragrant rose bushes, and resilient wildflowers by the roadside. So from today, stop looking to the sides. Focus on the path ahead. Be the happy fish swimming in your ocean, the free bird soaring in your sky. Don't try to be a perfect copy of someone else. Be a wonderful original of yourself. Your path awaits. Walk it with confidence.